This is the Cody, returning for another Big Brother 13 rant. I got a pretty good review from the last one, so I just thought, why not do another one? People thought it was funny, people asked me to do another one, so I decided to do another one at the end of tonight's live episode, which, trust me, I have a lot to say about that. So, you know, I'm also going to, if I could find where my list is, I got it in my head, so, yeah, so, alright, let's just get into it, because, I got a lot to say. Alright, so, tonight's eviction episode, was the unfortunate demise of the two best players in the game, Danielle and Jeff. The only two players, with maybe the exception of Rachel, making any kind of moves, winning any kind of competitions in the game this season. So, as the show starts, it's getting pretty intense, because, from the way they were editing it, it kind of looked like that Danielle had a 60-40, I would say, chance of staying, because I really thought, you know, Rachel will play this game in a way for Brendan. She was like, who fucked over Brendan more? Who did this to Brendan? And all that bullshit. So, she'll basically play for Brendan. And so I was like, did she think Jeff screwed her more, or did she think Danny screwed her more? So I thought that's what it came down to. And then, right before the live broadcast, which, I don't know, maybe we'll get a chance to see it on Sunday's episode, Jeff and Adam really laid into Shelly. From what I was reading on Twitter and all that stuff, that they really ripped her a new one, and that almost solidified the fact that Shelly was voting for Danielle to stay, even if Rachel wasn't going to. So Danielle left by a vote of 3-2. Shelly and Portia voting for Danielle to stay. Rachel, Adam, and Jordan voting for Danielle to leave. So, okay. I gotta admit something. Before I said, I really want Danielle to leave, because Danielle pretty much fucked up the entire season by turning on the vets and then letting these newbies coast. I have to say something. I really, when Danielle was evicted, I found myself kind of mad. I was like, I cannot believe Danielle is leaving over Kalia and Portia and Adam and even Jordan. I mean, it was just, I was like, because I ranted about it last time. I have a deep respect for the game, and I believe that the people that get to the end should be the people who played the game the best, or is actually playing, for that matter. So, I was a little sad to see Danielle leave. I kind of turned against her because she kind of wanted to get Jeff out, and I really wanted Jeff to win because Danielle went to the final two before, and I think the only reason she got to the final two was because of her dad. And, you know, truth be told, as much as I respect her, she is only half the player her dad is. Her dad is a true player. The game would have been much different if Evil Dick was in there, and I'm not sucking up to Evil Dick. I'll never meet the guy. The guy will never even acknowledge me. So it doesn't matter what I say. That is just the God-honest truth. Evil Dick is one of the best players in Big Brother history. Right, I would say right behind Dr. Will and right in front of Dan. That's where I would put him. You know, so, you know, he's great. And Danielle was only half the player because she had the competitive side of it, but she didn't have the social and mental side of it. The strategic side, you know. She should have plotted her strategies better. Now, I truly believe you this. If she would have waited, and instead of turning on Jeff and Jordan, turn on Brendan and Rachel, and have Jeff and Jordan on her side, I would bet you that Jeff, Jordan, and Danielle would probably be in the final three. Because I saw them running the table and kicking the newbies out one by one by one by one. You know. And the way that this game has gone, I promise you this, and I don't care what I have to do. Man, you know what? Go put me on Fear Factor return. I'll go play Fear Factor and do some nasty shit or do some crazy shit to get on Big Brother next year if there is not a second All-Stars. I really want to play this game because you know what? You know what my IMO is going to be? It's going to be get the fucking useless players out of there. Because at the end of the day, if I lose that game, I want to lose to the best. I don't want to lose to these fucking worthless players like a Portia and a Khaleesi Shamu. That's what Evil Dick calls her. I kind of like that name over Biscuit because I don't use Biscuit anymore. I used to, but not anymore. But over Adam, over Shelly, it's just sad. It just is, you know. Now, a lot of people might be saying, okay, Laylee's being a bit of a sore loser. Okay, so I'm being a sore loser even though two people that are on the opposite sides, and I'm pissed off that they're both gone, and they were on opposite sides. I don't think that's being a sore loser. I think that's just saying, hey, I wanted to see some gameplay, but now the two best players are gone. I mean, you know what? Jeff was my boy this season. I really wanted Jeff to go all the way because I thought he deserved it. You know, he put himself in a perfect position in the beginning of the game, and, you know, even though he's been targeted, he's been able to stay off the block. He's been able to, you know, win when he needed to, up until tonight. And I will definitely get to that challenge because I have a lot to say about that veto competition because if no one else noticed it, I noticed it, that Jeff could have walked away with that competition had he not made a fatal error. But we'll talk about that in a second. But back to the Danielle thing, it's just, her speech kind of pissed me off because, you know, she's saying everyone's playing for Jeff and Jordan. But what are Portia, Kalia, and Shelly doing now? When Portia won the veto, did she not say that Danny would want her to keep the nominations the same? Okay, dumbass, why don't you just do what you want to do? Have your own brain, though that it's not that big, but have your own brain, and use it and do what you want to do. You know, if you would have look, Portia has to think about this. Jeff ultimately walked out the door. True enough. But the thing about it was, think about what kind of position you would have been placed in the game said she saved Jeff. Jeff would have been the last person you would have went after. The power probably would have shifted back and forth, and you would have been right there in the middle. That's the kind of game you've been playing this whole time. No one has been worried about you, so you would just be sitting there in the middle, and Jeff will be trying to take out Kalia, and especially Shelly, and Shelly and Kalia will be trying to take out Jeff, and you'll just be sitting there, sitting back like all season. Now you decide to get out the strong player, and guess what? Now you're going to be on the forefront of everyone on the other side's thoughts. You are going to be the first person they go after. Because, yeah, Shelly is a fucking lying snake, but they're going to go after you first. Plain and simple. Because you won something, Shelly has not. So, okay. I did kind of get a little ahead of myself, but my point is... Okay, I'll just sum that up after. So, okay, so Danielle leaves, and then they have exactly what I thought they would have. They had it in the Season 8 double eviction, and I believe that they had it in the Season 9 double eviction, was the before and after game. And I was like, damn it. I thought Portia would win it instead of Kalia. I knew for a fact that Jordan and Rachel were not going to put it off. I had hopes for Adam, but you know what? Maybe this is just me being a conspiracy theorist, but I think Adam threw that game. Adam can talk all the shit he wants, but he's going to throw every competition and he's going to ride to the end. That's why I still hate on Adam, even though he was on Jeff's side and voted to keep Kalia over Danielle, and, you know, I don't have any respect for Adam either. Let's just make that straight right now. So, Kalia wins HOH, and as we all thought, she won't put up Jordan, so she puts up Rachel and Jeff. When I saw that competition, I was like, Jeff has this. Jeff is faster, Jeff is bigger, and Jeff knows he needs that veto, and he knew Jordan wouldn't go on the block if he took himself off. Adam would have gone on the block, and Adam would have gone home. Because Jeff and Jordan would have kept... Well, no, that's not entirely true. Because, yeah, see, that would have been interesting. Because, say Jeff won the veto, and he pulls himself off, and Adam goes up, and Jeff and Jordan vote to evict Adam, and Portia and Shelley vote to evict Rachel. Adam would have ultimately stayed, because Kalia would have evicted Rachel, and Adam would have known that Jeff and Jordan tried to vote him out. So, that would have been a little interesting. So, maybe they would have went with the house and voted out Rachel anyway. So, I don't know. But anyway, back to the competition. Now, this is what I was talking about, a fatal error. I didn't get on Twitter after it because I knew I was going to hear all these Jeff and Danny haters just saying, oh, one thing I hate about Twitter is all these fucking idiot fans, just the shit that comes out of their mouth is just fucking weird. It's just like, it was like, I knew if I got on there, it would have been like, all these Twitter people and all these Big Brother fans were like, let us see a boring season because Jeff is an asshole, he didn't deserve it anyway, he's gone. Danielle's a bitch, she didn't deserve it, she's gone. I'm like, come on, man. At least they were playing, right? So anyway, now this is the fatal error. Jeff, while he was looking for his thing, while he was looking for his, I guess, clown shoe, if you saw it, the clown shoe, because he was digging, he was just like, roar, he was Hulk smash kind of shit, His shoe flew up into the air and outside the ball pit, and is laying right there on the ground. About a few seconds after he does that, he finds his first shoe, and goes back and puts it back. And when I saw that, and I saw that the shoe was there, I was praying that he would see it. Because if Jeff saw it, he would have ran over there, he would have grabbed it, had the second shoe, went back, got the veto symbol, and Jeff would still be in the game right now, regardless if Adam was against him, or, Rachel was gone. It would, whatever. Jeff would still be in the game had he saw that his shoe was on the ground that he threw out because, But, everyone's going to say I'm lying, but trust me. Go watch the tape, and there is a point where the overhead camera points it out, and you could just see it laying on the ground. So, he would have stayed if he would have done it, but, heat of the moment, he was worried about getting back into the ball pit and just ripping shit apart so he could stay because, like he said in his, in his speech, he deserved to be there. And Danielle deserved to be there too. I blame Jeff. I blame Jeff for Danielle leaving. And he should have went with Danielle. He should have teamed with Danielle. And they should have just ransacked that house. Hell, they should have Danielle should have said, okay, I want to go back with the veterans. Because they're winning. I can't count on Kalia. And I can't count on Portia. And I couldn't count on Shelley, So, I wish they would have teamed up, but it didn't happen, so. But it goes back to the week that Brendan got evicted. And if I remember correctly, that they needed 4 votes. Okay? And you had you had Rachel, and then if Jeff and Jordan voted against Shelley, you got Jeff and Jordan, and then Jeff and Jordan could have convinced Adam, and then you got 4. And it would have been 4 against Portia, who was HOH, Danny, right? Kalia, and yeah, that's it. It would have been 4-2. Okay, so Brendan would have stayed, and Shelly would have been gone. It would have been a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. Because you would still have the Jeff, Jordan, Brendan, Rachel alliance. And more than likely, Jeff or Brendan would have won that HOH anyway. And then Jeff or Brendan could have competed in the next HOH and would have won that after Danielle had left. And, you know, we wouldn't be talking about this bullshit that happened tonight. But, in the end, it gets to the point where, like I said, Portia is like, Danny wouldn't want me to use it. And so, she doesn't use it. And Jeff, you know, I kind of like Jeff's speech because it was like, I came here to play, people came here to sleep, I deserve to be here. Shelly, you know, throughout the entire game, this is what I hate about this, and this is, I talked about it the last time, and I just have to say it again. There are these players that do nothing all season and just ride on the coattails and take advantage of what the strong players are doing. They're scooting everything out of the way, and, just to imitate Shelly's walk, is just, walking behind them. You know what I mean? And that is what Shelly did. And then Shelly got to the point, was like, I want it all to be off on me. I want eyes all fucking shit. I want all the eyes off me. Thank you. God, man, I can't speak. That's how angry I am, because I'm really furious about tonight's episode. But anyway. And Shelly sat around, smoked, bebopped, fixed her balls in her crotch, because there was still speculation she's a man, which I agree with. I even came up with a little song for her. It's not that funny, but, I just get, it's like, who bebops like George Jefferson? Who lies like George Bush? Who looks like David Spade? It's Showman! Yeah, see, that's gay. But anyway, so, no, excuse me, it's dumb. Sorry, Okay, I do say gay a lot, because I have gay friends, and they don't care if I call them gay, so, I usually don't think about it like that, and I don't think I'll offend anybody, so, but, shit happens, and, sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody. But anyway, so, back to what I was saying. It's just like, Shelly decided to put her foot out there and trip up the strong players, even after she's done nothing. She became the deciding vote, and everyone's gonna say, no, Kalia became the deciding vote. No, Shelly could have voted to keep Jeff. You know why? Because then, maybe, like I said about Portia, Jeff and Jordan Jeff would have been more worried about getting out Kalia and Portia than worried about Shelly. But now Shelly, even though Jordan and Rachel and Adam are going to play this game personally, and what is going to happen is that they're not going to care about Portia and Kalia winning competitions. They're going to boot Shelly out of the house, and Shelly would have realized she made a big mistake. Because I tell you this in a non-biased way. I swear on everything that this is not biased. This is just pure logic. It is the same thing I said about Portia. Shelly votes to keep Jeff, and Shelly is just sitting back, watching the war concur, and getting closer and closer to the finals. Because it's likely that maybe Cody and Portia would have took out Jeff the next week anyway. Or, it just sickens me that Shelly became the thorn in the side of this season. Because all of you out there are like, stop being a bunch of babies, stop being sore losers, stop being whiners. Let me tell you something. I have been watching Big Brother since 2001. I was 11 years old. I am 21 now. I've watched every season since season 2. I didn't watch season 1 because, I've watched every season. I could tell you all the HOHs in order. I could tell you all the vetoes in order. I could tell you all the evictees in order. I can tell you competitions in order. I just know the game that well. And being a fan of this show, don't I have the right to be a little upset that all these fucking useless players... let me put it to you like this. These useless players are going to get to the end, and they're going to walk away with $500,000 for sleeping for 3 months. You tell me how that is fair. I want to sleep for 3 months and get $500,000. That'd be the easiest fucking thing in the world. I would love to do that. And that is what Kalia did. That is what Portia did. That is what Adam did. That is what Shelly did. You know, I'm not going to say Jordan because Jordan was on a side. Jordan had to worry about being nominated. Jordan had to worry about winning. Jordan had to play. She sucks, but she had to play. Shelly didn't have to play. Adam didn't have to play. Portia didn't have to play. Kalia still had to play, but Kalia sucks. So, and Kalia had Danielle. I'll bet you $1,000 she wouldn't have won that HOH that kicked out Lawan had it not been for Danielle. That's just pure logic right there. So, okay. It's just, man, I get so irritated. When it comes to Big Brother, I'm normally not a biased person, you know, because I'm like, when my player leaves, I'm like, hey, they got taken out by the best. What are you going to do? But the last 3 seasons, the strongest players get taken out by the players who haven't done shit all season. Last year, who won 2 HOHs to keep his alliance safe? Matt. Who sent Matt home even though they haven't won shit? His alliance. Season 11. Who did Jeff send home? Russell, right? Yeah. Besides himself, the other strongest player in the game. In my personal opinion, Russell was the strongest player of that season. Even more so than Jesse. Because he was just... He was a dangerous player. I give him credit where credit is due. Jeff sends him home. Who takes out Jeff? Kevin and Natalie. Who didn't do anything all season? Kevin and Natalie. It's just... It just... I can't... As a fan of the game, I just can't stand to see good players like Danielle and Jeff be thrown on their asses just because of vote. It wasn't because of competition, it's because of votes. Sure, they lost the competitions they needed to win, but it was ultimately the votes that sent them out. And you have all these... The useless players have the numbers. They have the numbers. They could vote you out 4-0. It's easy, you know. I just can't stand it, you know. I'm not being a sore loser. I hate that Jeff is gone. I hate it, but I also hate that Danielle is gone. I do hate it, but you have to understand that I just cannot stand how the season is playing out, you know. And some people say they don't want to see a female win, but that's totally... I could care less if a female wins, as long as it ain't one of the worthless females, like, i.e. Kalia and Portia. And you know what? Truth be told, as much as I would love to see Jordan just win HOH and shove everything in their faces and get revenge for Jeff, Jordan doesn't deserve to win either. Out of the players remaining, there is one person, as much as I hate to say it, that deserves to win, and her name is Rachel. It is not Portia, it is not Kalia, it is not Adam, it is not Shelly, and it is not Jordan. It is Rachel. And if Rachel doesn't win this season, then let me put it to you like this. I have a list of the most undeserving winners in history. I have top 5 list. Well, the 5th person will be kicked out of that list because if Rachel doesn't win this season, they will get the title for most undeserving winner in history. That is point blank and period. It's just like I brought up last time, just like All-Stars. You got this worthless hoe bag, Erica, that just sits there and does nothing the entire season and floats around from power to power, and then the And then the best player in the game, Will, she decides to stick her foot out in front of him and get him out of the house. She didn't deserve to win. I'm not gonna roll over. I'm not gonna let these boys push me out the door. Bitch, you haven't done shit. You don't deserve to win. Are you that delusional to think you deserve to win? I mean, the fact you even made it to the final 2 is a travesty. I mean, Jesus. The same thing with Shelly. You stood in my way and went in his way. Put my hand on my head. Really? You don't deserve to win. You haven't done anything. People are saying, well, she's playing the game. If you could sit here and tell me that Shelly is playing the game by sitting there and riding coattails and deciding to... Who did she convince to vote? People say, well, she convinced Kalia to put up Lamar. No, she convinced Kalia to maybe put up Portia. Did Kalia put up Portia? They're like, oh, she's playing the game, that's why she tried to keep Danny. Oh, okay, so voting to keep someone is playing the game? I mean, who else did she convince to keep Danny? No one. Shelly's not playing the game. Shelly's talking out of her ass, lying like a fucking hag snake, and just continuing gonna beat bop through the season. And then I read some of the feed updates after and how she was yelling at Jordan, and I love that Jordan said, I gave you the fucking phone call. Yeah. What kind of bitch are you now? Your daughter and your husband got to talk to you because of Jordan, and you stick the knife right in her back. Okay, it is a game, but you harp on the lying thing, and I guarantee you that as much as they would love for you to bring home the money, which you won't, they are going to be very disappointed in how you decided to play the game, and you are the biggest hypocritical whole bag bitch on the planet, even if you are a bitch. You might be a dude, you might be a bastard, so, yeah, no, I mean, the jury is still out on that one, so, that's all I got to say. And I'm not saying this being a sore loser, guys, I'm not. It's just, I respect the game, and I wish, I wish the players who are playing would win, and I don't like that there's this hole in the rules of the game that allows useless players to trip up the strong players and send them out the door, I can guarantee you this, and like I said, oh my god, I know it is a different game once you actually get into the Big Brother house, but I am telling you, I will pinky swear, I will swear on the Bible, like, one of my favorite players of all time, James Ryan, even though he did block me on Twitter, so he's not so much my favorite anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe he thought I was someone else, or maybe my picture scared him, because I used to have a Twitter picture that looked like this, and maybe he was like, oh, psycho, But he did block me, but he is still one of my favorite players of all time, because I didn't like how he left Season 6, He left Season 7 decently because he got thrown out by strong players. He left Season 7 decently. He left Season 6 being thrown out by April. How much you think that hurt? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm gonna have a drink of your drink, baby, because my drink's over there. So, I was talking to my girlfriend. My girlfriend's right here. And I just stole her drink, and yeah, she just shoved me. But, so, what was I? But yeah, imagine if April won Season 6. Maybe people would understand what I'm saying if they just think about that. So, yeah, I just can't stand it. But anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but you go, stop laughing at me, but you go into, I know when you go in there, it's a different game. You don't know how you're going to play because it's just different than being in there than saying, hey, you could. But I promise you, I swear on my life, I'll pinky swear, I swear on the holy Bible, I'll swear on anything. if Big Brother somehow let this fat, hairy tubberward named the Cody go into the Big Brother house, I will tear shit up. I will send worthless players home. I will show you how the Big Brother's game is supposed to be played. I will tell you the best way to play it. I will show you. I will show you. I promise you. I don't have to win competitions all the time, but I can tell you this. I can tell you that I don't have to play the game like Hag-ass Shelly, Fat Boy Uncle Fester Adam, Slutty Ghetto Booty Portia, or Biscuit Punk Ass Michelle Obama lookalike Kalia, or who else is there? That's it. I don't have to play like that to win the game. I know how to play this game, and I might be sent out the first week, I might be sent out the 6th week, I might make it to the end of the game. But I guarantee you, before I walk out the house, I will show you how to play the game, and that is kick all the worthless players out, fight the strong out the end, and let's just get cracking, motherfuckers, because I want to play Big Brother so bad. They better hope they have an all-star season next year, because if I go into that house, it's gonna be World War fucking II, because I will do whatever it takes to win, besides sit on my ass and sleep and be like, oh, can't vote me out, I don't do shit, man, what kind of threat am I will not play the game like that. I'm not saying I'm going to go in there and win every fucking competition, because you don't have to win the game. But there's a difference between not winning competitions and not doing anything. The difference is, look at Real Kirby. Real Kirby, Dr. Real, Dr. Delicious as the women call him, whatever you want to call him, is the best #1 player in Big Brother history. And he has never won a single competition. You don't have to win competitions to be the best player, but there is a difference between the way Will played the game and between Jordan played the game. Yeah, okay. Let's pretend Jordan didn't win anything and made it to the final 2 and still won. Anyway, Jordan was carried. Will was not carried. Will was the carrier. Will was the guy saying, hey Boogie, do this. Hey Janelle, do this. Hey Erica, do this. Hey Chicken George, do this. He's the guy. And let's go back a little bit farther. Hey Hardy, don't get rid of me, I'm the most hated. Hey Nicole, final 2. Hey Monica, we're friends. You know, he played the game. Shelly and Adam and Kali Shamu and Porsche Fart, I have no other nicknames for her. They ain't playing the game. They're fucking riding coattails and just gonna make this boring season and think that their dream is gonna come true. They slept and won $500,000. Fuck! I'm just saying. It's sad. I'll show you how to play the game. I want all these newbies from this season to watch next season, because I am going to go to casting call after casting call. I'll fly to a casting call. I don't care. I'll make a freaking funky-ass video. I'll send it in. I'll write a whole bunch of paperwork. I'll write a letter to Allison Gardner herself and say, let me in the fucking game so I can show these people how to fucking play.
Maybe with less F-bombs.
Yeah, with less F-bombs. With no cussing at all. I'll save for all the trash talk when I get in the house. But I'll be nice about it. But I'll more or less show them how to freaking play, you know. Oh, fuck. I'm just irritated because I respect this game so much, and the way people from the last 3 seasons are playing it is just fucking brutal to watch. It just is, you know. You guys can make fun of me, I really don't care. Like I said, hey, people have made fun of the wooden panel house before, go ahead, you know, make fun of my titties. Look at these titties. I'm fat. I'm fat. It's so funny. And so obvious, so who cares? So, I don't care. People can call me a sore loser. I'm not being a sore loser. Maybe I'm being a sore loser, but because the game is being played like bitches. There's no wrong way to play the game, but you can best believe that there is a definition for playing like a bitch. And Portia Adam, Kalisha Mu, and fucking the biscuit head Shelly can fucking, there'll be pictures of them for, Evil Dick on, a couple of shows ago on his Dick and Night did, Big Brother terminology. Okay. Someone get the word to him, because I want to see this, because I know 90% of Big Brother fans agree with me when they're saying that all the newbies play like bitches. Okay, Big Brother terminology. Play like a bitch. Okay, and then just have a big picture of Adam, Shelly, Portia, and Kalia just sitting right there. That'll make me happy, because I want someone to agree with me, because I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Fuck, and the other words that I don't want to say right now. Okay. Anyway, so, I have to stretch my legs. Fat people just, they hurt themselves when they say they need to. I'm just saying. But my prediction for the season is that more than likely Portia and Kalia will make it to the final two, as fucking hard as that is for me to say. They'll make it to the final two, and Portia will more than likely be voted the winner, and she will go into number one as the worst winner in history. So, I hate to predict that, but, there's no way that Jordan, Rachel, and Adam are going to win now, because I just found out a couple minutes before I started doing this who won, the HOH, and it's sad. It is. It's just, I'm sure Danny will be happy as hell to see Jeff walk through the door, but I think after the season is over, Danielle and Jeff are both going to realize they should have stuck together throughout the entire season and ran all these fucking punk-ass movies out of the house. And, Anyway, so, what else did I want to say? It's just, I am praying for an All-Stars next season, People believe that, my girlfriend irritates me. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. But, she was doing this, and I was like trying to speak, and I was like, what? Really? What was it? I thought she was like trying to squash something. But, I just hope that the All-Stars next season, because I just can't stand to see this gameplay anymore. I just can't. It drives me nuts. I'm a very, very competitive person. I'm a big-time Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and I flip shit when they lose. I come up, I am a sore loser when it comes to football, because football is my number one favorite sport. I've been watching it since I was 6, and I fucking hate when the Bucs lose, and, and same thing with, MMA. I'm a big mixed martial arts fan. I'm a big Rampage Jackson fan. And I can't fucking stand it when he loses. I talk mad shit about the guy that beats him. Bitch! You can whoop my ass, but I can call you a bitch before you do it. Shit like that. But I'm just a competitive person, and I hate to see competitors walk out the door before couch potatoes. So, yeah. Alright, so, I said I would do a list. Okay, so, I'm gonna go ahead and, shit. If I could figure out where it is. Oh yeah, babe, can you, get my notebook from down there, please?
Where?
It's right in front of my bed. Is the paper still on? Is it? Alright. Thank you, baby. Okay, so I want to do worst winners. Okay. I'll talk about all the other things, but I'll just give you my worst winners list. Drew from Season 5 didn't deserve the win. He rode Diane's coattails. Adam from Season 9, he capitalized on the game move that Sheila made to get out Natalie. Lisa from season 3, I only say that because she didn't deserve to win because she only got all the votes because everyone hated Danielle, and Danielle was the best player of that season, and also one of the best players in Big Brother history, and probably the best player to never win. Number 2, Maggie from season 6. She aligned herself with stupid people, and those idiots decided to follow her like freaking Hitler, so she won more or less because the people on her alliance were morons, and Howie was an even bigger moron for letting her run his HOH. So I don't think she deserved to win. I don't think even Yvette deserved to win. Unless your name was Janelle or James, you didn't deserve to win that season. And number 1 worst winner of all time, Jordan. She's a sweetheart. You know, I love her as a person, but, you know, she rode Jeff's coattails. Only won 2 competitions the whole time. One was thrown to her, so she didn't really deserve to win. And I also believe she won the game because everyone hated Natalie. So, yeah, so... Alright, so... I'll give you another top 5 list, but I'll go into more detail about it. Top 5 best alliances. I think... Thinking about it, this is really hard for me to say this one, but I can't really think of any other alliances that really did that good. The number 5 best alliance was last year's main alliance, the Brigade. I think they're one of the best alliances in history. One, because they're the only people will say the 4 horsemen, but I don't count the 4 horsemen, Drew and Cowboy, because Drew more or less rode coattails from someone who wasn't in his alliance, and the Brigade rode the coattails of someone that was in their alliance. So, basically, but I call them the Brigade. They were led by, in my opinion, they were led by the best player of that season, Matt Hoffman. Not Matt Hoffman, the X Games biker, the diabolical super genius, the guy that came up with the fucked up lie about his wife that I didn't care that much about, because if his wife didn't care, then why should you? So, but, you know, 2 of them got to the end, and 3 of them got to the final 3. I kind of hate calling them one of the best alliances because they kicked out the guy that pretty much got them that far. So I was a huge fan of Enzo only because he was funny, but not that he was good at the game. Hayden deserved to win more than Wayne and more than Enzo, but he was definitely not the best player of that season. In fact, if I had a top 6 worst winners list, I'd put Hayden on there. But I do give credit where credit is due, and the Brigade definitely was one of the best alliances in Big Brother history. Number 4 was definitely Jason and Danielle from season 3. No one knew about their alliance, even though everyone said it afterward. But you can see during the show, no one knew that Jason and Danielle were aligned together. Jason was friends with one part of the house, Danielle was friends with the other, and they compared notes, you know, every time people would go to bed or people were outside or something. They compared notes, and they knew who they needed to target, they knew who was their biggest threat, and they were pretty much one person away from going to the final 2. And another thing I call them the best alliance in Big Brother history is because neither one of them were ever nominated for the entire season up until Lisa won the final HOH. So, yeah, you know, I think a lot of people don't talk about the Jason and Danielle alliance because it doesn't have a name like a Chill Town or you know, like a Renegade or shit like that, or Brigade, whatever. So, you know, and plus, the fact of the matter is that one half of this alliance is, like I said, and the last thing was that Danielle is probably the best player to never win Big Brother, and she definitely is probably one of the top 5 players, definitely in the top 10 players. She ran that entire season 3, and I believe was robbed of a win, even though I did like Lisa, but, like I said, I respect the game, and I think Danielle as well. The number 3 best alliance, I think, in Big Brother history is the Renegades. The Renegades, teamed up right before, the jury house, and, they started just picking people off. They befriended Keisha and Rennie, and had kind of a 4-person alliance with them, but it was really all about them two. Same thing with Jason and Danielle. One half of the Renegades was one of the best players in Big Brother history, Dan, and ever since Dan's season, that's when people started to play shitty. I don't understand why that is, but yeah, I definitely think the Renegades were one of the best alliances of all time, because you have what alliance need. You have the strategist, and you have the person that can win competitions. Memphis can win competitions, and Dan was the strategist, even though Dan too could win competitions when he needed to, so that made their alliance even stronger, and they went on to the final 2, and I believe that the Renegades would have made this season very, very interesting, because I think they could have really put up a good fight and made it pretty far together, because like I said, win competition strategist, Dan could befriend everybody, Memphis could win competitions when his team was in trouble, because we saw how stupid everyone played all season. No one ever put up the 2 people from the same alliance other than Danielle with Brendan and Rachel. Well, that's a good news or whatever. But Renegade's definitely one of the best alliances in history. Number 2, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. They think they should be number 1, but I'll give you a couple of reasons why I think that they should be at number 2 and not number 1. Okay, the Donatos, I think, are the number 2 best alliance in history. Again, you have the strategist in Evil Dick, and you have the competitor in Danielle. Even though, like Dan, Evil Dick could win when he needed to. So, alright. I wouldn't say they ran that house, but because the thing about it is that they were the biggest targets in the house, and everyone was after them, but they were able to just dodge bullets, basically, and it's still impressive, but they didn't run the house. They didn't control the votes. They didn't control, they just didn't control the votes, because everyone was pretty much against them. And, I hate to say this because I'm such an Evil Dick fan, but another reason is that the alliance would have probably been split up during probably one of the biggest shocks in Big Brother history, is when Dustin went home instead of Evil Dick, and you had the America's Player vote, so and America pretty much helped Evil Dick make it through that week. Would Eric have really voted out Dustin had he not been America's Player? He keeps saying no, but a part of me does believe he still would have voted to keep Dick, even if he wasn't the America's Player. But that kind of factors into, they had that tiny, it's like really that small, it's not that big, I admit, but they did have a tiny little bit of help, and, but they're still one of the best alliances in history. Like I said about the Renegades, if Dick would have stayed in the house, more than likely Evil Dick would probably have won the game, because I don't think Evil Dick would have known this ain't the time to turn on the vets. Evil Dick would have probably been stupidly enough. Personally, if I was in the house, no offense, Evil Dick would be my number 1 target, because he would be the strongest player in the game. But people would think personally, and they would have been after Rachel and Brendan before they went after Dick and Danielle. And even Jordan and Jeff and Jordan admitted it in the live feeds a couple times, that they would have went after Brendan and Rachel before Evil Dick and Danielle, because they thought they were more dangerous on a competitor's level. So, yeah, big fan of the Donatos, number 2 best alliance of all time. And number 1 best alliance of all time, this is not a biased decision, this is real, but Chilltown is the best of all alliance of all time for many different reasons. One, they did run the house. And like I said about the Donatos, Chilltown ran that game because they pretty much controlled almost everyone. They controlled Janelle. They controlled Erica. They controlled Chicken George. They, at one point, controlled Howie. They pulled a blindfold over James and Danielle, 2 of the most dangerous players in the game. They were able to basically just send out who they wanted each and every week because they were pulling all the strings. And even though they didn't make it to the final 2 together, because you had Scrubbica, as Mike Boogie called her, that was the real form in Season 7, fucked up everything. Another big reason I say Chilltown is the best alliance of all time is because they played with some of the best players in Big Brother history. They played up against the dangerous Allison, Danielle, James, Janelle, Kaser. Well, I really don't count Kaser as a strong player. I really don't, because he's never made it to jury, and he's had 3 chances. So, who else? Marcellus was somewhat known as a strong player from Season 3, although I think he was one of the proverbial, I keep saying proverbial, one of the weak players of that season. Diane, again, strong in Season 5, not so strong in Season 7, and same thing with McComas. So, but still, they beat out the best players of all time, and one of them did win, so I believe Chilltown is the best alliance in Big Brother history. The only way that Chilltown could be topped, and I think Dick and Danielle are the only alliance that could top Chilltown. I want to see Dick and Danielle go into an all-star season with nothing but all-stars, not these punk-ass newbies. I don't want to see any of these punk-ass newbies in all-stars. No Adam, no Kalia, no Dominic, no Shelly, no Portia. Just leave them out, and let's get the real players in here and let's play the game. If Dick and Danielle make it to the final 2 then they will trump Chilltown. So, but right now I just say Chilltown because another reason is that one half of that alliance is probably the best player, no, not probably, but in my opinion and many others, the best player in Big Brother history, and that's Will Cody. So, yeah, so I believe Chilltown is the best alliance of all time. So, yeah, that's going to do it for my rant, again, about Big Brother 13. I hate how this is going. More than likely, Portia will come out the winner of this season, and all she did was walk around, gain weight, and talk about having sex with everybody. So, I don't like how the season is going, but that's what's going to happen. Nothing that the fans can do about it, nothing I can do about it, and it sucks, but it's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So, I'm the Cody. Hope you enjoy this. I'll do one next Thursday. If people like it, I'll do another list. If people don't like it and talk shit about it, I won't do it, and just be into it. So, I'm the Cody. You're Big Brother fans, or YouTube fans, whatever, same thing. And, leave me some comments. Is there anyone that agrees with me that this has become the worst season? This will be that if any of the 4 movies win, they get to be known as the worst winner in history. Please, someone agree with me on that one. I hope to hear that, because that's what I truly believe. And someone get Evil Bit to do that tutorial about playing like a bitch and then have all those 4 pictures. So, alright, anyway. Peace out. I'm the Cody. You're people.